that there are opportunities there. I'm very proud of just one of the new stores that have opened up here on Okeechobee Boulevard, Bebe's Chicken and Waffle. I'm sure most people have been there. I enjoyed it so much that we now are offering incentives and been meeting with this gentleman now for a couple of months to get that type of business in our marina at the beginning of our construction. So this is not something that we want to make a glass ceiling for the small black businesses, but to be able to get them in on the ground floor. So there are a lot of different things that we're doing. The rhetoric that's being spewed is just that, it's just rhetoric. It's no truth, it's no basis for it. I'm real about this, and as I said many times before, you know, I'm proud of what we're doing in the city. It has turned around. Everyone has the right to run, but what I offer is a vote of stability, a vote of confidence, and a vote of experience. So I'm willing to continue to do the things that we need to do to continue to make our city what it is.
Okay, Mr. Roberts, Mr. Thomas referenced the renovations that are going on at the marina. Tiki Bar is one of the, I guess, anchor shops there, if you will. If you're elected to the city council, you can take the mic, sir. Where would your next area of focus be once the renovations at the marina are completed to help kind of revitalize the city of Riviera Beach as a whole?
Most of you don't know this, but we had a woman who led a group called the Citizens Task Force. Her name was Emma Bates. And she fought to save the marina for the citizens. And a group of citizens stood up and we did an initiative, got the signatures, and we won in a November election, during the November election. Another group came back to reverse that decision, and they won in the March election. But I guess in the wording of that, what they won, the city has been fighting against, the Citizens Task Force has been fighting against the city. And again, I'm proud to announce that today, so where I would want to go from this step forward, that's going to leave a lot of things in some melee because we won. We had a dry dock storage, and I'm saying in the marina because that's where that money needs to be spent in the marina. We had a dry dock storage. That was lucrative. It was making money. Systematically, we don't have a dry dock storage anymore, and there isn't one being rebuilt. A few blocks down the road on 22nd Court, I went over there the other day to ask for some money for my campaign. There's a dry dock storage over there by a private owner, built with boats. So that would be a part of my economic development, to get our dry dock storage back that was making the city money, so that the city can continue to make money.
Okay.
Now,
no, continue.
Okay. Now, what I want to do is let you all know that due to budget cuts, our citizens have been cut back on services, and our city workers have had to take furlough days off. Our agenda review, where the public can hear what's going on, what's going to be talked about in the next city council meeting, was cut. We used to have a city council meeting on the first and third Wednesday of every month. We only have one now. I had to pay $1,500 to get my name on the ballot this time around. Normally, it's just 12. My understanding is that that number is based upon a percentage of what the city council or the mayor makes in a year. So while people are getting fired, laid off, the transparency is being cut down, the information is being cut off, the city council and the mayor are getting raises. There's economic disparity in Riviera Beach. The wealth is not being spread throughout Riviera Beach evenly at all. And I have to say that because all of the money is being spent in the marina area to cater to developers, that they believe in trickle-down economics works. It doesn't.
This is a question that was just submitted by one of our, would you like to respond? Okay, go ahead.
You know, Mr. Robinson, I know each other very well. Every time I've run, he's run. So this is nothing new. But, you know, what really bothers me is, you know, it hurts me because it's hard for people to take the city of Riviera Beach serious because we have these type of individuals that are just spreading rhetoric that's nowhere near true. The city council makes $19,000 a year and has been making $19,000 a year since before I was elected in 2007. There's no raises. In addition to that $19,000 a year, there is a $500 a month car allowance. That's it, point blank and simple. The filing fee and qualifying fee for the city of Riviera Beach has been $1,140 since I've been there. This year, it was $1,500. I follow the rules. That's what we have to pay, that's what it is. Do I understand why? No, not at this point, but we're looking into it. Yes, there were furloughs. Like every other city that went through something, there were furloughs. There were 12 days a year that were furloughed for about a year and a half, and now they're down to 6. And in this next upcoming budget, we would like to take the remaining 6 away. It's very simple for somebody who may be anti-Semitic to text Mr. Roberts on the phone and say this or say that about a judgment that may have come down. Bottom line, that judge today did agree with one of the points that was made about the language on the ballot. Yes, he did. But what does that really mean? It means that really we need to send a letter to the tiki bar and to the other owners that are in that marina to say, listen, we can't have commercial businesses down here. So let's close this down. Let's go ahead and you got to fire all of your employees and try to take them to somewhere else. It's serious. It's not about sound bites. Somebody can lose their jobs. Businesses can close tomorrow because of that. So yes, my heart is heavy because of that. I don't need to attach on to judge rulings and all these things to try to get my name out there and do anything. My name is out there because I'm doing what it takes to make sure that our city can be what it can be. So I had to address, once again, the rhetoric that Mr. Roberts was putting out that was incorrect. I'll be more than happy to answer your question.
Well, one more question, and this is from the audience. Mr. Thomas, if re-elected, what do you plan to do for senior citizens who live inside Riviera Beach?
That is a question that was addressed inside of our redevelopment plan. There is a area that we're planning on making a senior community that's on the water for some of the residents. I don't know how large it would be, but that's one of the areas. The other area is Ms. Brooks, as well as the rest of the council, has decided to try to give them some reprieve on their water bills. The mayor has done some different things with different businesses to get some discounts. I'm trying to do things I'm trying to do some things to make sure that I get them to understand what's going on in the city and the process to find out what are the specific issues. At this point, the majority of the issues that I think that are having to do with housing, where homes are, deteriorating and they don't have the money to get them fixed. So those are some of the programs that I'm looking at strengthening our MEHOP program to be able to get them monies for repairs, and not just due to hurricanes or anything like that, just while the homes deteriorate. So for the seniors, that is some of the programs that we're looking at that we're trying to get monies back through. We did get those monies when new construction was coming in. It wasn't a whole lot of new construction, so we weren't able to beef those accounts back up. But now that we do have some, those are some of the things that we'll be looking for the seniors.
Yes, sir. Mr. Roberts, same question to you. If you're elected as city commissioner, what plans would you enact to help the senior citizens who live inside Riviera Beach?
I would have to ask them what they want. I would like to satisfy their wants and their needs, first of all.
Have they made any points to you to date?
No, they have not. Okay. But we do have online a 76-unit elderly living facility off of Congress in our new Heron Estates property that used to be Ivy Green. Smartphones, take notes. If you want to, you can read them. That's what I do. The elderly need a lot of help. Do I know what they all are? No, but I know they need a lot of help. Whether it's going to get their groceries, whether it might be fixing on their homes, they need help. And to my understanding to date, they're not getting it. You can be pro-business all day, but in order for me, if you want to be a public servant, you need to be pro-people. And pro-people needs to be coming out of your mouth and oozing out of your pores, because that's what it's about. Now, the gang of five can sit up on the desk and make everything look nice and sweet. And when people agree, and it seems like they agree, and everything's looking like a nice, well-oiled machine, it all looks good to the seeing eye. But when you go into the communities and you hear the stories, and you see and you smell the insides of the houses that have the mold on the inside of them, and you hear about how my children have asthma, and you see ladies on the oxygen, with the oxygen masks on their faces, again, you smell the homes, something's not being taken care of. Somebody's being neglected.
And now we need to, and I hate to cut you off, Mr. Roberts, but we need to move on to the closing statement. So since you have the microphone, feel free to present your 2-minute closing statement.
The most successful CRAs around here have 2 separate boards that are not the same people. In Riviera Beach, for some reason, they just want to stay the same persons. So, and that means that there is no oversight. There is no checks and no balances with that. You understand? Like I said, the wealth is not being spread around to the citizens of Riviera Beach. They allowed for the CRA to borrow over $25 million on the backs of the citizens without having a plan on how they were going to spend that money first. As you see, Fane Lozman won his case just recently. They spent thousands of dollars fighting this man. And now he's won, and now we have to pay him. We stay in litigation against our citizens. That's ridiculous. That's not pro-people. We deserve better. We deserve better representation through and through. Houses have been in disarray since 2005. Monies have been there from the county, and all they had to do, to my understanding, was an obligation to fulfill fixing up 100 houses. They did not do that since 2005, and the county is now trying to recall that money.